Hi everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you're an existing subscriber. My name's Laura and you're watching my channel So Very Laura, where I talk to you all about my journey to put together a wardrobe that brings me joy. So today I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about sewing procrastination. So this has come about because I've been watching, as I'm sure you all have, lots of vlogs by lots of lovely vloggers about the challenge of cutting into your precious fabric, which was a challenge run by Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery, I think last month, which I didn't take part in, but I knew about. And this month there's a challenge around sewing up your works in progress, which I can't remember who's running it, but I'll pop all the details down below. And again, I'm not on the vlogger tour for that, but I did get to thinking about projects on which I've procrastinated. Now, some of them aren't anything to do with cutting into precious fabrics, some of them kind of are. And some of them aren't even in works in progress yet, but I know deep down that I've been procrastinating about making them. So I thought what I'd do is to pick out a few projects that I've been thinking about that are kind of nagging at me because I know I've procrastinated for one reason or another. And I thought that what I'd do is I'd talk a little bit about each of them, why I think I've been procrastinating and what I think the fix is. So if that's something you're interested in, then please keep watching. So the first one of those, some of these are in project bags and I've already unzipped them in the hope of keeping down the amount of rustling and zip noises and stuff. So obviously, if you've been following me for a while, you might have seen these projects before, because otherwise I wouldn't have procrastinated about them, would I? If you're fairly new to my channel, it might be quite interesting because you will see the types of things that I do have kind of in the pipeline, although the pipes got bunged up, obviously. Sorry, that's a horrible analogy. Right, so first one is a mashup of two shirts, both of which I've made before. So the body is this shirt, and it's the View B but without the pockets, and it's M7575. So I've made that before. And then the sleeves I've pinched off this one, which is New Look 6407. So I really like the sleeves on the New Look. That's the view that is in the bigger picture. So you can see it's these cuffs, but they're completely open and they almost in a way look like they're put on upside down. And I made that in a really nice licorice all sorts fabric, but I just don't particularly like the neck on it. So I'll pop pics up of the ones that I've made before. And what I have done is I've messed around with the sleeve head on the New Look one to make it fit the McCalls pattern. And I'm in the process of sewing it up in this really nice cotton fabric, which comes from, I think, I want to say Fabric Godmother, it might be Felicity Fabrics. I'll pop the details down below, but I've had it ages. You can see I have actually been making some progress on this. I have actually been getting on with it on and off. So it's been more of a sort of slow sew in recent months than a complete procrastination. But why have I been procrastinating? Primarily because I've been worried about the fit, because I cut both pieces in the sizes that I used when I first made the shirts. And then I've had it cut out since, I would say, autumn 2021, maybe. Probably, certainly a while. And I put on a bit of weight since then. So I was thinking, well, I'm not sure if it's going to fit me. But I then sort of thought about it and thought, well, you know what? They've both got 5/8 of an inch seam allowance on them. So if I sew them with something like 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, that's going to give me an extra, half an inch each side. And that should be enough, really. So that's the plan. So I'm just going to get on and make it up. But that's why I've been procrastinating. But as I say, I took it to a sewing social, actually probably about a year ago, so still haven't done that much of it. But I have been kind of trying to get on with it in between other challenges. So that is the first one. So the reason I procrastinated was fit, and I just need to bite the bullet really, and hopefully it will be fine. That's my first one. Second one, sorry, there's going to be a lot of moving about because I'm standing at my cutting table. And those of you who've been watching me for a while will know that tends to mean I've got stuff everywhere to show you. So the second project follows on, cut out probably about 6 months after the first one, maybe a little bit more. And it is the Tilda shirt dress from Atelier Jupe. And I cut it out in this viscose chalet from Lady McElroy. I think that might be upside down actually, but that's the back, which I haven't done anything to yet. And this got cut out, and it was going to be for an engagement party for a family friend. And then sadly, I got called away because a close family member was ill and subsequently passed away. So I never made the engagement party, and when I came back, I put all the cut pieces into a project bag and kind of forgot about them for a bit. And then since then, I have tried to sew it up, but I think possibly I associate the dress with bad times, which is, I don't know, I wouldn't say irrational, but I think it is a nice fabric and a nice dress, and I would like to get it sewn up. I think probably from a more practical point of view, I've struggled with it because the fabric is so fine, and because it was so pricey, although I think I got it as a remnant, I've been really nervous to put starch on it, but I think I might just have to do that. So I have started sewing it up. I've started doing I put the darts in on the two front pieces, and I've started sewing. I've done some of the top stitching on the plackets, but I'm not terribly happy with it. So I think, to be honest, the fix is to unpick the bits of sewing that I'm not happy with, give it a good press, starch it, and then take it again from there. And hopefully I will like the dress, and that will take away the bad memories of it first coming into being, because I know that the person who died, it's the last thing that they would want for me to kind of have sad memories associated with that. So that's the second one, and I am going to make it up. But I think the other reason that I kind of procrastinated about it was we've had such an awful summer. So although I kind of had started working on it, I kept thinking, actually, the weather's awful, so I'm not going to wear it anyway. And because it is so thin, I don't think it's something that I would even want to wear in the winter with a cardigan and tights and boots, because it is really thin. So I am going to finish it, but I don't think I'm necessarily going to rush to do it before the spring. So that is my second one. And really, I would say more recently it's been fear about the type of fabric and messing it up more than anything that's caused me to procrastinate. Okay, on to project number 3. Project number 3 is really silly. So project number 3 is the Butterick, and it's B6388, and I want to make this view here the short top. Now I've already made view D, so the dress, and I made this really early on in my sewing journey, and I'll put a picture up of it here, but I've also got it here to show you. So I made it in this spotty fabric, orange spotty fabric, so it's really quite nice and seasonal at the minute, although you probably can't see on camera, but it has really faded. I've got some remnants of this, and my goodness, they look a lot less bobbly and faded than this, and I haven't washed it an absolute ton, so a bit disappointed really. But I made this before I got my overlocker, and you can, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, yeah, possibly. You can see there's lots of top stitching, which I did in zigzag stitch on it, and also on the back it's got this nice yoke. In fact, you know, if you had remnants, you could do some quite nice colour blocking there. And then it's got pockets here, which are okay, but like everybody says on jersey pockets, they do make it look slightly strange at times, because they kind of bag and things, but they're not. It's not too bad because it's not right on the side seam. It's on a kind of front panel, I guess, if you like. So I do really like it. Initially, I think my fear was that old friend of fit again, because it is something I made when I was a bit slimmer, but it does still fit okay. And actually, where I have my real larger areas are much more kind of around my hips, and this obviously just comes to my high hip. So I think it would be fine in just the size that I've already made before. But the other reason that I've delayed making this, let me just pop this back. I've got a beautiful fabric to make it in, which is this one, which is fundamentally navy French terry, which I think I got in a sale. I want to say from First for Fabrics. And I really want to make it. I love the fabric. But I've kind of overthought it because I keep thinking, should I use Maraflex so I can do the top stitching? Or should I just do it on my overlocker and ignore the top stitching? Or should I do it on my overlocker and then do the top stitching? And then should I do it in zigzag stitch? And I really don't know. And I've thought about it and I thought, right, okay, well, you've really got two choices. I mean, I could get some navy blue Maraflex because it would be maybe a useful colour to have some Maraflex in. Or I could just sew it on my overlocker and then use some navy thread and zigzag again. Because actually, I don't mind the look of the zigzag stitch on there. It actually looks quite decorative. So I really don't know why I've procrastinated for that long, really. I still love it. I think it'll be super warm and cosy. I think it will go great with jeans. It might even go with some of my smarter trousers for work, depending what I'm doing on the day. But I think it's lovely. I think it'd be great for the autumn with some of those oranges and yellows and things in it. So really, I just need to get on with that and stop overthinking. So that is my third. As I say, like I said, it's not even a work in progress because I haven't cut into it, and the pattern pieces I had traced out from when I made the dress. It's not even a work in progress, but it's been sat in a project bag for probably about 2 years. And it's not a particularly precious fabric. It's just that I'm overthinking the detail. So, right, I need to get on with that. So that was the next one. So the next one, I think, is my equivalent of a precious fabric, because this is a bag making kit and it is the Sally Tomato commuter bag. So it's this bag, and I'd quite fancied a go at bag making, and my husband bought me this, I think Christmas 2022, I want to say, because I'd said to him before, it's probably easier if I just have a kit, so I just got everything I need. So he got me this one, and it's faux leather. So it's lovely, but I haven't half been scared of it. And I guess this is the sort of precious fabric I'm afraid to cut into. So it comes with everything you need, apart from adhesive fabric spray. So I've been out and got that. So you've got the kit with everything. You've got the lining and the different colours of the leather and all the wadding, everything. So I've got the whole lot. And having done a bit of research, I went and got myself, really quickly as well, I think I got it on express delivery, I got myself an ultra glide needle plate and ultra glide foot so that the faux leather will go through more smoothly and more easily and not catch. So I've got all the gear, but I haven't started it. And this is purely and simply lack of confidence on my part. This is me being scared that I would mess it up, which I think is what probably a lot of people have been saying about cutting into a precious fabric. And since I got it, I have actually made 2 bags. So I made myself my sewing caddy, which is this one here, which I really like, and which, yes, okay, there was a bit of unpicking going on, and that's what makes me nervous about the faux leather, because I'm worried it'll show if I have to unpick. So I made that one, and then more recently I made the Ethel bag, the Ethel tote bag, which I will put a picture in here, but I did it for the upcycling challenge for the Busy Bee challenge. So I've made a couple of bags now, so I've got a bit more experience, and I think this one really is a case of be brave, but take it really nice and slowly and don't rush it. But I really do want to get that made, because I think it would probably be big enough to hold my work laptop and other things that I need for work, and save me walking around with a separate laptop bag and handbag, which is what I've been doing at the minute. So I think I've got a real use for that, and the colours are very autumnal, and if I like it I can buy some more fabric and make it again for the summer in some other colours. So I think I really need to just be brave and take it nice and slowly, and hopefully it'll all be all right. So that one is quite high up on my list of plans. So that's that one. Right, move that out of the way. And then I have, again, one that I suppose you would say this is a work in progress, and that's the, it's not really the picture, I'll put the picture up here, the Mountain View jeans by Itch to Stitch. So these are the ones that are for stretchy fabric, and they have a faux fly, yes, faux fly on, and they're made quite low cut, so they're kind of hipster level, but you can make them into a higher waist, and Kenneth gives instructions on how to do that. So you might remember that I have mentioned in an earlier vlog about things you can do to progress your sewing journey when you're away from your sewing machine, that one of the things you can do is cut out your paper pattern. So I've done that. I did it one day while I was away overnight for work. So what I actually need to do next, because I want them to be higher waisted, is to amend the pattern for that. But again, there's a lot of overthinking going on, because I'm thinking, maybe I need to check them against my body block for my sew over it sewing school for making trousers. And so I probably need to check the crotch. So I will do that, but then I'm thinking, oh well, what if it's not right? Should I change it? Maybe I should make a toile. And then I've had a word with myself, because the fabric that I'm planning to make them in initially, I got in a big bundle from, I want to say Dalston Mill Fabrics, I think that is right, and I did one of their denim bundles, and you get something like 8 meters of fabric for £40. So basically my denim has cost me £5 a metre. So I think I probably just ought to get on and do it. But that has been a case of me overthinking. And yes, while it's good to check against the block, I made the block in a woven fabric, and this is stretch. So I think, yes, it's worth doing some checks, but also, you know, it's a toile, it's only fabric, and it's not precious fabric. So I need to be a little bit brave, make what I hope is a wearable toile, and then take it from there. And they are on my Make 9, so I do want to try and get on with them sooner rather than later. So that's that one. The next one is another one that's actually on my Make 9. So if you followed me for any length of time, you will have heard me talk about it before. And it's this skirt, this particular view B, and this is the 8956. So I started sewing in something like October 2018, and my husband bought me this pattern for Christmas 2018, and then not all that long after, he took me into Bristol, and I went fabric shopping, and I got this boucle style fabric to make the skirt in. So you can see it's this kind of red boucle fabric. It's not the thickest in the world. It also isn't hugely expensive. So again, it's not precious fabric. So why have I hesitated? So 2 reasons. One, again, has been this thing with the fit, because this goes up to a size 14, and I was worried that my waist might be too big to fit into the sizing. But I am a bit more experienced now, and also there is usually an awful lot of ease in big 4 patterns. So again, I think if it is technically a bit too small, I can probably alter the pattern now. I'm probably experienced enough that I could do that. But the main reason I've not got on with it is that you have to interface the facings at the front of the skirt. And I've been thinking, well, I've only got fusible interfacing, and that is really quite textured, and I think the fusible interface is going to go really bobbly. So I've just been sat there and thinking, I really ought to test it. I really ought to test it. And then the other day I was out and I popped into a fabric shop locally because I wanted to get some poppers for the Ethel tote, because I do like it and I do want to use it, but at the moment it's got absolutely no fastening on it. So I thought if I put some biggish poppers on it, I think that will secure it enough for, you know, I don't know that I'd want to go on the tube in it, in it. I'd look really silly, it wouldn't fit me. I don't know that I would want to use it somewhere where it was a real crowd, but for something like going to work or going out to lunch, it'd be absolutely fine. So I popped in and got 4 of these so that I can put those on the Ethel tote. And then I said, while I was in there, I don't suppose you've got any sewing interfacing, have you? And they went, yes, certainly we have. So I bought some sewing interfacing. So that was really a case of not having the right notions to get on with it. And now I've got the right notions to get on with it. I've got no more excuses, have I? So I need to get on with that. And again, that's on my Make 9. So that's something I do want to progress. So that might be something I cut out over this coming weekend. It's Friday afternoon as I'm filming this. You'll probably see this on Saturday. So that's that one. My very last one, I can't actually find the pattern to show you, but I will put a pic up here. And it's a dress, and I put it on my revised Make 9, and it is, sorry for looking down, it's the McCalls M7448, and I said that I wanted to make this possibly for a birthday party for a friend of mine who's 6 weeks younger than me. So she hit 60 in September and had a big dinner party. And it is a jersey dress, knit dress, and it recommends things like cotton jersey. And I thought it'd be great colour blocked. And essentially I bottled it. So I found some colours that I really liked, a colour combination, which was Lamazi Fabrics, and I wasn't sure what the actual colour combination was, so I sent them an email and they came back and said what the colours were, because they had them in a bundle, but the bundle wouldn't have been, it would have been the wrong measurements. It would have been too much of some fabrics and too little of another. And I sent them an email and they responded so promptly, and I said I'd give them a shout out. So I didn't actually buy the fabric, but I was so impressed with the fact they came back really quickly, because it was out of hours and I think it was a weekend. So big shout out to Lamazi for coming back to me quickly, and I'm sorry I didn't buy the fabric. But I was just really worried that the shape of the dress might show more lumps and bumps than I wanted to. So I don't know quite where I'm going with that one. I wonder whether it might look better in something like a bamboo jersey. I don't know. I'd love your thoughts, because I do like the dress. So that's why I procrastinated. How am I going to fix it? I'm not going to make it for now. I'm going to wait and see how I feel about it in, 6 months, a year. I think I am losing, if not weight, inches. So that might make me feel a little bit better. But I'm just not sure it will suit me at the moment, and therefore I think it's okay to change my mind. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to, I suppose it's taking it off the list of feeling guilty and just putting it back in the pattern stash for now and seeing how I feel about it maybe next year. So that's all the patterns and fabrics that I wanted to talk to you about. So I hope that has given you some food for thought, maybe made you think about why you might be procrastinating. I know, for example, Ruan did a vlog about why she'd lost her sojo and what she might do about it. And I haven't lost my sojo. I have been sewing other things. And actually, sometimes I think because I've been sewing other things, it makes it easier to procrastinate, particularly when you're doing things on a deadline, like the Busy Bee challenges and collaborations. But fundamentally, it's been these issues around the projects, or issues that I've created for myself around the projects, I suppose might be a more accurate way of putting it. So I hope that's given you some thoughts. Let me know down below if you think that you've been procrastinating about anything and why, and what you're hoping to do about it. And I should really just close with what I'm wearing, and also tiny update on what I've been doing since I finished the shorts that I made for the last Busy Bee challenge. So what I've been doing, actually, this is a sort of upcycle, but I can't enter it for Sew Upcycle 24 because it's made of fabric from an upcycle of an old skirt. But I did also have some fabric left over, and so I don't think it would really count as not using just fabric from your stash. And I also had to buy the fabric for the ribbing. But this is the mica bomber jacket, which is a free pattern from Tiana's Closet. And I haven't quite finished it. I'm just going to give you a very quick flash. There you go. So as you can see, I'm in the process of putting in the zip and the facings, and then it will be done. So hopefully I'll get that done this weekend. And I really like it, and I think it is really quite autumnal. So I'm really pleased with that. What am I wearing? I am wearing my hacked Friday Pattern Company Pogo Nip. So if you've not been watching me for very long, you might want to watch my vlog all about this, because it was really the garment that didn't want to be made. But it is made in this gorgeous jersey fabric with poplars, and I essentially hacked the pattern around a bit. So I'll link to that vlog down below. So thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this vlog and you're not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. I am so close to 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm 12 short at the moment, and I would really love to get there. And that's nothing to do with monetizing the channel or anything like that. I just think that when you get to that magic 1,000, then maybe people perhaps think you're worth watching, and so hopefully I can share my sewing journey a bit further. So if you're not subscribed and you would like to, please just click on the little subscribe button down below, and if you want to be notified of my vlogs, you can just hit the little notification bell. So, and if you've liked this video, please do give me a thumbs up. And I always love to hear from you, and I always do reply to comments. So thanks so much for watching. I'm now going to go away and put all this stuff back and try not to procrastinate about it. And then probably the next vlog I bring you, I'll show you my finished bomber jacket, and I will talk to you about more details about my plans for the next probably couple of months, maybe up until the end of 2024. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.